ಬಜಲೇನೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಯಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ವರುಣರುದ್ರಮರುತಸ್ತನ್ನತಿ ದಿವೈಸ್ತೈರ್ವೇದೈ ಸಂಗಪದಗಾಯಂತಿಜಂ ಶ್ಯಾಮಗ ಧ್ಯಾನಾವತಿ ತಿಗತೇತನ ಮನಸ ಪಶ್ಯಂತಿ ಯೋಗಿನ ಜಸ್ಯಾಂತನ ವಿದುಷರರ್ಣ ತಸ್ಮೈ ಶ್ರೀ ನಮಃ ದೇವಾಯ ತಸ್ಮೈ ನಮಃ. ನಾಮ ಸೃಷ್ಟಮನೋಪಿ ಸಚಿಪುತ್ರಮಾತ್ರ ಸ್ವರೂಪಂ ರೂಪಂ ತೆ ಸಗಜಮರ್ಪಿ. This Nectarian advice compiled by Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Maharaj, collected from the scriptures. Nobody can deliver us from this material world except the beloved devotees of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. No one can give us good pieces and advice. This verse says, Nama Srishtamanuphi Sachimutra Sarupam Rupam Tesakunapuri Madhurim Goshtavati Radha-Kunjabihari Radhika Madhavansam Prapta Jasya Prityakrupaya Sri Gurung Tang Tasmi. The Guru Vandana, Mangalacharan. He delivered, nobody can deliver us from this material world except the beloved devotee of the Supreme Lord. Those are bona fide spiritual masters, those descend from this planet to this planet. They can deliver. Except them, no one can do. Because no one can give us good pieces of advice. In this world, so many material so-called scholars, they are also giving some advice sometimes, but that is not authentic. The good pieces of advice only can the beloved devotee Supreme Lord can give. Sri Das Goswami says, I convey my prostrate obeisance unto the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, by whose unlimited mercy I have received the blessing of the divine name. Incarnation, the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya, the son of Mother Sachi. The second form of Sri Chaitanya, Sri Swarup Damodar, Sri Rup, Sri Sanatan, Sri Mathura Mandal, the cow grazing field of Sri Krishna, and Balaram, Mathura Gostavati, the sporting ground of Sri Krishna, Sri Radha-Kunda, Govardhan, the king of mountains, and Sri Radha-Madhava. This sloks is the praying the all Guru Varga, Gurudev, and the Parsad of the Sriman Mahaprabhu, so Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also the Sri Krishna Balaram, and Mathura Mandal, and Govardhan, and Radha-Madhava. This is the Mangalacharana sloka. Since the demigods as well as the demons do not know about the Supreme Lord, whom the sages behold in meditation, the demigods as well as the demons do not know about the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord, those are the parsad and paraphernalia of the Lord. They can understand properly about the Supreme Lord. Demigods also failed. Those are sages also. Meditation, by the meditation also not possible to attain this platform. Whom the Vedas glorify, whom Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, Maruta, etc. The Supreme Lord, whom Vedas always glorifying, and Varuna, Indra, the demigods always glorifying. Demigods praised by a divine humans is possible on the part of the mute creature like me to inquire about him. Who is he by whose mercy it is possible to know him, and we get the divine name, incarnation, etc. of the Supreme Lord, who is completely unfathomable. Young Brahma, Varunendra, Rudra, Maruta, Stunnanti Divastari. This Brahma, Rudra, Maruta, always they glorifying the Lord, whom the Vedas are also glorifying. Who is he by whose mercy it is possible to know? By his mercy only. Isparar krupalesya hoitajare seita isparar prato bujhi parpare. By the mercy of the Lord one can understand him properly. Otherwise, unless the mercy of the Supreme, no one can understand, no one can attain, no one can think of him also. Because the name, form and the quality and the lila of the Lord is unimagined, out of our imagination. By the mundane knowledge, it can't possible to understand him. It is our out of imagination. Sri Krishna Nam Rupadin Avad Graham Indri. By the senses, it cannot be attained, it cannot be understandable. Seven Mukhi Jyadus Mayavas Puratadyo. Those are completely surrendered the lotus feet of the Lord and beloved devotees, and always reciting his, chanting his name, and always engage in the rendered service of the Lord, they can understand. There is no other way to understand the Supreme. One can read and deliver, that is another thing. One can read and explain also, very simply and critically also. That is another thing by that. That is the power of the knowledge and power of the quality. But really, realization of the Supreme, it is depend upon the mercy only, not possible by sadhana. Okay, sadhana necessary, that should be under guidance by the spiritual master. There is no other way. Individual, no one can attain. Ekakyaman nai paival Harinam Sankirtan. The Harinam Sankirtan, no one can do individually. Impossible. Suppose among of the 64 limbs of the 64 devotional limbs, तार मध्य सर्वश्रेष्ठ नाम संकीर्तन, the holy name Sankirtan is the super. Suppose one can think, oh, it is very not necessary to do other spiritual activities, means only sit and chant. That can be possible if some higher authority is approval and ordered. I read and listen and hear, oh, it is necessary, oh, it is, if someone to attain the Lord, if he behave like this, sit and chant, if maybe attain or may not be, there is some doubt. If some highly exalted personality, if the supreme, most beloved devotee of the Lord, the Guru Varga, if inspired and ordered to do this, then can be possible. So, to attain this platform, necessary by the mercy of the Guru Varga. Guru Krupa hai kevala. Because we never seen him, the Lord, which is not visible to us, before us. How can we attain him? How can we see him? But those already attained at that platform, in this platform, if they deliver, it can be possible. one can read scripture, think and speak, but suppose someone asks, okay, you are reading Bhagavad, no, Bhagavad, the non-different of the Lord, the word form of the Lord, Pratyaksha Vartate Hari, but now you show me the Lord from the Bhagavatam. How it is possible? Possible if that Bhagavatam we hear from the lotus mouth of the bona fide preacher. That can be possible. If we hear this Bhagavatam from the so-called preacher, we can understand, we can little, that is also positively, no, something will get the benefit. But the Krishna prema and relationship about the Krishna is necessary. We must take shelter the lotus feet of the higher authority. There is Pandit Gaya Prasad Das Babaji Maharaj, who is the living Govardhan. All the Brajavasis and Goswamis nowadays also, they are calling him living Govardhan. Whole life who completely dedicated his life to the Govardhan, served the Govardhan. And near the Govardhan he was living and chanting everything. Bhajanandi Mahatma. He is the well preacher of the Bhagavatam also in those days. Before he was a teacher in school. But after Siddha Raslila, completely he changed his life and came to the Govardhan, stayed there. After last breath of his life, he was chanting and chanting. What happened one day? One great preacher, Bhagavata preacher from the Vrindavan, professionalist preacher, he came to see the lotus feet of the Maharaj. That time Maharaj was chanting. But when his sevak informed Maharaj, someone is coming from Vrindavan, someone is already came to see you, then Maharaj stopped chanting and came to him, because when he hears some Mahatma is coming from Vrindavan, to necessary to see him. But that preacher bowed down the lotus feet of the Maharaj, and Maharaj asked why you come, anything. That preacher asked, Maharaj, I am a preacher. Entire the India, Kashmir to Kashmir to Kanyakumari, I was preaching everywhere, Bhagavatam. And I got so many opulence and everything. Thousand disciples also, so many building, car, everything I got. But till now I didn't understand. Till now I didn't feel the ecstasy, those how you are the feelings. I am speaking Bhagavatam. People are modified also, no problem. But I am not getting the peace and the pleasant and the love of the Krishna. I am delivering nicely, but I am not feeling. Why it is happening? Then Maharaj smiled. Okay, Bhagavat is the Chintamani. From the Bhagavatam side, there is no doubt. He has given everything you. Whatever you desired before, and you deliver the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad has given you the car, opulence, and disciple, and everything, money. If you start this mission to desiring to get the love of the Krishna Prema, then it can be possible. But you started the other way. So what you thought before and you start the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad gave this. So Krishna bhajan for the Krishna only. We should do bhajan for him only. If there is any obstacle, any dirty remain, maybe take time to attend. So our all endeavoring should be done for his satisfaction. You see, mentally, physically, orally, our Guru Varga, how they dedicated whole life. Every steps of his life, if he is scrutinizing and see nearly, they didn't have any mundane desire. Whole life they dedicated for the Lord's only. Mentally, orally, physically, whatever. There is no contradiction in the world to the teaching of Lord Sri Chaitanya. No contradiction. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching is final. No one can remark. No one can argument. No one can try to defeat logically. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu matam idam tatrapi na dorapara. If the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mata, his statement, it is a final statement. If Mahaprabhu what speaks, that is final. About the Bhagavata, Mahaprabhu speaks. Bhagavat is the topmost scripture among all scriptures. There is no contradiction in the world to the teaching of the Lord Sri Chaitanya. All other teaching ideologies suffer from one or another shortcomings. Other ideology suffer from one or another shortcomings. I have experienced those feelings after growth of consciousness steady by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Mahaprabhu speaks this. I have experienced those feelings after growth of consciousness steady by the mercy of the Lord Chaitanya. Because by the mercy of the Lord Chaitanya, one can change his ideology and his feelings, everything. All other ideologies suffer from one. All other ideologies, so many ideologies in this world. But the Mahapurush ideology, Mahapurush teaching is the best teaching for deliver fully, completely purified ones and to send to him, to send to one to the Lord. The Mahapurush teaching is necessary. So what is Lord Chaitanya gathered from Srimad Bhagavatam? Out of all worships described in the scriptures, the most important is worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. This is Mahapurush ideology, Mahapurush statement. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajasatanaya Tadhama Vrindavana. There is no any other contradiction of that Mahapurush teachings. In so many scriptures, you see some scriptures study upon the to instruct to worship the demigods also. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally given this. Mahapurush teaching The Prabhupada Pada already delivered this. What is Lord Chaitanya gathered from Srimad Bhagavatam? Out of all worship described in the scripture, the most important is worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Krishna. Aradhya Bhavan Brajesatanya. Braja is the master of the Braja is Nanda Baba. His son, the Krishna. He is the worshipful deities of other worshippers. Krishna is the completely in every respect, full, completely in every respect. If you worship Krishna, the other way you worship whole universe, all demigods, everything. Till we run after incomplete. We run after incomplete things. Our ego, vanity, proudness, etc. But if we once worship the Krishna with unflinching faith, without any other desires, then this is the Mahaprabhu's teachings. But those are not believing this Mahaprabhu's ideology. They are running behind the incomplete things. Incomplete things to get that and the incomplete things. Because some people are worshipping the demigods, some people are worshipping some human beings, some people are worshipping so many ways, so many. That is full only. Only one, the Supreme Lord, is the full form. Om Purnamadaha Purnamiding Purnat Purnamudicate. Except Krishna, everything is incomplete. We are the part and parcel, he is the full form. If we connect with him, then our life also fulfilled, will be fulfilled. So till we run after incomplete things, our ego, vanity, everything will remain powerful. Hence, we cannot proceed in the direction of completeness. Therefore, we have to take shelter under the lotus feet of the Lord Chaitanya. We have to take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Because Chaitanya Dev's teaching and his ideology is the final. There is no any compromise. That is the final decision. We cannot proceed in this direction of the completeness. If we run after incomplete things, if we run to attend the other things, to get the other things, the life become destroyed, life become incomplete. So we have to take shelter under lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. He has never opposed to any type of material concept. He has never opposed to any type of material concept except transcendental aspects. Spiritual bhakti marga, there is no compromise. You see the Prabhupada Vani. He has written, Vishay Jinsit Amman ko kashta diye. The matter, subject matter gives painful to us. Rupa rasa gandha sparsa sabda. This Vishay taranga rupa amman ko dhakka diye. Like a ocean we are floating, some wave kick. Like this Rupa rasa gandha sparsa, like a wave kicking us always. So that one should not be a Vishay, materialistic. Should not be a Vishay. Enjoy. Sense enjoyer. Because sense enjoyment is very painful. So the Mahaprabhu also Except transcendental aspects, he has never opposed to any type of metal concept. Any type of metal concept. Mahaprabhu speaks, আমার প্রতি যদি শ্রদ্ধা থাকে সবাকার, কৃষ্ণ ব্যতিরেক কিছু না বলিবার. If you have any affection to me, then accept Krishna, nothing can speak. No other words. Only always speak Krishna words. Take shelter him, pursue for him, do for him, act for him. No other concepts, no other compromise. Mahaprabhu final decision. That's why বৈরাগী হইয়া যে করে প্রকৃতি সম্ভাষণ মহাপ্রভু কোচনে মুখ্য তার না দেখি দর্শন. Those are fully dedicated, renounced. Being a renounced, if you want prakriti sambhasana, worshipping with the women for enjoyment, the Mahaprabhu disliked them. He never attained this. Because, you know, when the Mahaprabhu was going to Jharkhand, on the way, some sevak was with him that time. When Mahaprabhu was he was going with Mahaprabhu, but without information to Mahaprabhu, he rushed to the forest to meet some veal women. Mahaprabhu brought him. That time he didn't chastise it, but when he come back to the Puri, he informed others, kick out him from our ashram. Because he has no compromise. Spiritual way, there is no compromise. So Krishna bhajan for Krishna only. There is no other consolation also. Very strict, huh? He had no interest in mundane affairs, mundane thought, mundane ideology, mundane attachment. No interest. We are followers of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is a great. But unfortunately, we are not following him properly. This is our destiny. By the mercy of the Guru Varga, we have become the followers of the Mahaprabhu. But unfortunately, we misuse our opportunity. That's why we are not attending the platform. We are not able to taste the nectar of the Mahaprabhu's instructions, advice. So no interest in mundane affairs, no interest. He has never told anything except the supreme beneficence of the living entities. He has never told anything except the supreme beneficence. Never told. This is the Mahaprabhu. We have seen the Guru Vargas. Very near to we have seen our Guru Vargas. Our Guru Maharaj. We never see, he never taught other examples, other mundane topics. Always whatever he spoke about the transcendental topics, Mahaprabhu topics, no other things only. Because they are the followers of the Mahaprabhu. So he has never told anything except the supreme beneficence of the living entities. He says, Brajendra Nandan, Sri Krishna is the only object of all worship. Brajendra Nandan is the only object of the other worships. Among of all worships, the Brajendra Nandan is our worshipable for deities. That is not confined to the concept of the master of Mathura or Dwaraka. No Mathuresh, no Dwarakesh. Mahaprabhu never told to worship the Mathuresh or Dwarakesh. His only worshipable form is Brajendra Nandan, the cowherd boy, Krishna, who always playing the flute, runs with the gopis. कृष्ण नामर अनेक अर्थ आमी नहीं जानी, जसोदानंदन श्याम सुंदर यही मात्र जानी. कृष्ण नामर अनेक अर्थ आमी नहीं मानी. One the South Indian scholar came to meet Mahaprabhu. Before he has written some Bhagavatam. He thought if Mahaprabhu read this, then my Bhagavatam spontaneously become very famous. Then he spoke to Srila Damodar, at least you give to Mahaprabhu. Srila Damodar straightly refused. No, it's quite impossible. But he is the very senior most Mahatma. Mahaprabhu always respect him also. Then he once came to Mahaprabhu. He told Mahaprabhu, I have written Srimad Bhagavatam, commentary of the Bhagavatam, at least you once read. Then Mahaprabhu told, I don't have time to read the Bhagavatam, because I am not qualified to understand the Bhagavatam. My Gurudev's, always I am engaged in the chanting, reciting holy name. So if I get time, that can be. I don't have time to. Till now I am not completing the round. Then the enthusiastic, the preacher, the Bhagavata writer, he told Mahaprabhu, I have also written about the Krishna name. I have written about the Krishna name. So many things I have written about the Krishna name. Then Mahaprabhu straightly speaks, Krishna namar bahurtha ami nahi mani, ami nahi jani. There is so many meanings of the whole Krishna name. I don't know. I don't believe. Shyam Sundar Jasdan ei matra jani. Shyam Sundar, like Jasdan, who is the son of the Jasoda mother, and Shyam Sundar, who is living in the Vrindavan, playing with the gopis and cows, boys. That only I knew. He is the Krishna. Other meaning I don't interest to know also. This is the Mahaprabhu final decision. How very straight, huh? So that's why he never, that is not confined to the concept of the master of Mathura or Dwaraka. He is the worshipable Lord of the residents of the Braja, to whom Mahaprabhu expressed about worship. Only the residents of the Braja, who are always residing, staying in the Braj Vrindavan, who the son of the Brajaraj Nanda Baba, Yasodas, the worshipful Lord of those who have reached Brajadham, who have reached Brajadham. He is the worshipful Lord. So our worshipful deity is the Brajendra Nandan. Not Mathura Krishna, not Dwaraka Krishna, only Brajar Krishna. Okay? This is Mahaprabhu's speech, Lord Chaitanya says. Nectarian advice. Nectarian advice. Nectarian advice. Krishna, 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 Rakhyama. Krishna 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 Paima. Krishna 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 Hare. Krishna 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 Hare. Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Raghama. Krishna Kesava Krishna Kesava Krishna Kesava Patima. Gaura 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 Rama. Gaura 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 Parima. Bhaj Gauranga Smara Gauranga La Gauranga Naam Re. जे जना गौरांग मोदे से हया मर प्राण रे. भज गोविंद स्मर गोविंद ल गोविंद के नाम हरे. जे जना गोविंद भजे से जय गोलक धाम रे. जय जय लक्ष्मीपति नृसिंह मुरारी मंगल निलय सर्व मंगलहारी. मंगल निलय अमंगलहारी जय जय लक्ष्मीपति नृसिंह मुरारी. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. गुरुदेव तिल गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव तिल गुरुदेव जय प्रभुपाद तिल प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद तिल प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल श्री गुरु वरांगंधरिका गिरिधरी राधा माधव-कुंज-बिहारी लाल जय तदेपि तथे प्रातः पाठ करते श्रीमद् भगवद्गीता तदे पाणी जय जय विष्णुपाद गुरुदेव पति पावन परमस्पराचार्य श्री भक्ति विषय महाजल भक्ति सिद्धांत सत्य सिंह प्रभुपाद जय जय रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ योगपाल गुरु स्वरूप बंदे विजय सवानंद सपरि गुरु सपास्त प्रभुपाद नामाचार्य श्री राधा रानी